I think I'm just going to jump straight in. So tonight I'm really excited. I think AI is an amazing tool. It's probably the big thing at the moment for teachers, for people in general to get their head around. I think it's such an amazing thing, a gift that is really worth spending a fair bit of time getting to know what it can actually do. So hopefully by the end of this, probably an hour or so, you guys will have a better understanding about what AI is and how us as PE teachers can use it. Towards the end, I'm going to give away my free, well, it's not free, but it will be free for you guys, my online course, which is ChatGPT for PE teachers. It's a really well-rated course. It's going to go a fair bit deeper into what we've gone through in this session. So stick around right to the end for that, and also stick around because I'm going to give one of you guys that is interacting, watching live with this presentation, access to PE Buddy's full VIP premium membership, which is 200 plus resources, access to ChatGPT, which I'm going to go through in a second, and much, much more. So I'm just going to double check once more that everything is A-OK. This is my first time doing this, so it is a little bit scary, but we're just going to go for it anyway. Beautiful. All right. We've got a bit of a loading screen here. Right, technology, sometimes good, sometimes not so good. Let's dive straight in. So today's goal, like I mentioned before, is to equip you with an understanding of what AI is, artificial intelligence, to help you teach better PE with less work. That is what we are all about. So if you've got any questions as we're going along, I'd love for you to put them in the chat function or comments box, and I'll get to them as I go. Like I said, I don't want to just talk to you for an hour or so. I want to interact with you, answer your questions, and make this as useful as possible. And like I mentioned, stick around right to the end. There'll be a heap of free stuff, and you wouldn't want to miss out on that. And this will actually be recorded, fingers crossed, if everything goes to plan. So I will upload this to the Facebook and YouTube accounts, so you can check that out. Maybe rewatch stuff, and it will actually count towards your annual PD requirements, which is great. Here's an overview of what we're going to cover. I'm going to basically explain to you guys why AI is essential. Okay, it's not just a luxury or a bit of fancy technology a select few are going to use. It is something that everybody will use every day, and it's just a matter of understanding why that is the case and how we can get our heads around it. We'll dive a bit into what actually is AI and how is it useful for us as PE teachers. We're going to go through some key principles which is going to blow your mind, hopefully, and just make the whole AI experience much easier. And I'm going to teach you guys what the plan, prompt, produce method of interacting with AI is. And right at the end, we're going to have a bit of question time. So let's get right in. So this is a little bit more about me. So my name is Jamie. I am a current practicing PE teacher, head of physical education. I've done that role a few times, and I think it's such an amazing role, such a privilege to be shaping the programs and the different sports and initiatives that these kids are going to go through, and hopefully impart the lifelong love of sport and physical activity and health and movement onto the next generation. So I absolutely love it, and I hope you guys do too. My teaching philosophy in a nutshell is efficiency. Now, this does not necessarily have good connotations, but what I mean by this is the idea of the highest quality teaching, that's important, achieved with the minimum time, effort, and stress. I remember back to my first couple of years of teaching, I'm sure you can too, and it was all about essentially the opposite of this. Pretty low quality teaching, if we're brutally honest with ourselves, and a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of stress. I think as you mature as a PE teacher or a teacher or any kind of profession, you want to get to this point where you are producing a really high quality product, okay, but you still got your time for your friends, your family, your health, your hobbies, the things that you love, all right? So we're going to explore a bit about how AI can help us strike this really nice balance with the best possible life-changing, impactful teaching, but we've still got our nights, our weekends, and our holidays to do what we love. As I mentioned, I think right at the start, I'm the founder of PE Buddy. You might have stumbled across us at some point. We started on YouTube a couple of years ago. We've grown to a couple of thousand subscribers, which is kind of cool. We hit 1 million views, which was kind of mind-blowing for me a few months ago, and it's just awesome seeing that these videos that I created are actually helping people all over the world. It's quite amazing when you look at the data, the statistics, and where people are coming from. We also do online courses. Again, I mentioned at the start, you guys will get access to one of them right at the end for free. But we've got about 5,000 online students learning all kinds of things to do with fitness, physical education, health, sports, science, biomechanics, all of this good stuff that we love. And what I'm probably most excited about, and I think what most of you are already in, is our online PE teacher community on Facebook, which has got about 30,000 people from all over the world. And again, it's just an amazing thing getting people together with a similar passion, similar train of thought, supporting each other, sharing resources. So if you're not part of that group, I'd highly suggest it. It is free and it is a useful resource. And the whole idea with PE, but I'm going to speak a little bit about it. I don't want to go into too much detail, but basically the whole idea is teach better PE with less work. Very similar to my own philosophy. The whole rationale behind PE Buddy is giving teachers around the world the PowerPoints, the unit plans, the lesson plans, the rubrics, everything they need. Now our new AI tool, ChatGPT as well, to basically not spend our nights, weekends and holidays creating resources. And I just think we're in 2024 now. We have this technology. We need to get better. We need to have a higher standard, that we don't recreate the wheel. We don't manually create things anymore. We've got the technology to help us, to give us that energy and that focus on the things that really matter, like teaching kids and actually doing the stuff that we love. So for a second, dream with me. Imagine this. Tomorrow you wake up with all the resources that you could ever need for amazing physical education and the ability to create anything else you need in seconds. No more night, weekend or holiday work. So again, this is the ambitious, the lofty goal that we are going for at PE Buddy. And I think if we are brutally honest with ourselves, this is something that we all would really love. And again, with AI, I believe that is possible. Now, if you're a visual learner like myself, it's really simple. I want less of this. I did not become a PE teacher to be on a laptop, to basically work an office job, to sit down, to spend way too long on my computer or technology. I became a PE teacher and this is not a photo of me obviously, to get out there in the stadium, in the gym, outside, play with the kids, teach the kids the skills that I love, and be passionate and have fun. All right, we want more of that, less sitting around on a laptop. So that's a bit about me. I'd love to hear where you guys are. In the comments or the chat, please tell me what state, what country you're from. I'll be super interested to see, if we've got people from Australia. If you haven't picked that up already, I am Australian. I've got a pretty thick Australian accent, but I do know that with our online community, we have people from all over the world. So in the chat, just chuck in, what country you're from, maybe what state, and maybe a bit of a fun fact about you. I'm going to jump there in a second, and I'm going to go a little bit more into the why. So like I mentioned before, and if you're a teacher or educator today, you will be well aware of this. In the majority of cases, we are overworked and underpaid. There are increasing workload issues. We're not just teachers anymore, we're counsellors. We've got this role and that role. We've never had so many hats or things that we need to juggle. We are, at the moment, working way too much. There's not one teacher that I know that works within their contracted hours. The inherent nature of the job is that we do have to work outside those paid contract hours just to do our job. And as a result of this, unsurprisingly, more teachers are leaving the profession than ever before. So my question to you guys, is AI the answer to this? A couple more stats for us. 76% of us think that our workload is unmanageable, with only 2% strongly agreeing that their workload is manageable. 95% of us are working overtime in a typical week, more than 60 hours, about 42% of us, which is just crazy. And the teacher burnout is a real thing. A few years ago, I experienced a fair bit of this. It is not fun at all. And I'm sure if you've been around teaching for a while, you may have experienced this as well. It really is just an unsustainability for people, individuals, but also just the profession as a whole. And it just burns us as teachers, and it burns the kids in the long run, really. Something that we desperately need to fix. So is it the answer? Is AI, is ChatGPT the answer? I think yes and no. It's not the answer, but it is certainly an answer. It can help us save time and energy by doing the admin stuff for us. We're going to learn about that in the next couple of minutes. It's going to do that quicker and better than we can, and we probably have the capacity for manually. And last bit of information, on average, there's about 15 extra weeks. This was done by the IEU in 2021, so it's probably actually gone up by now. So this is where we get a little bit excited. So this was done in 2018, so again, this has probably changed a little bit by now. This is a breakdown of a typical day for a typical teacher. So we've got our teaching the class. So this maroony red section on the right, and that is the good stuff. That is when we're outside, we're teaching the softball, the basketball, the soccer, the skills. We're doing the stuff that we love, that we train for. That's good. That's great. AI can certainly help us with that. The rest of it, okay, specifically this orange bit, lesson preparation. Do not manually prepare a lesson ever again. AI can do it better than you can. Correcting work, AI can actually help us correct work as well, okay? Professional development, it can probably help us with that as well. The general admin work, that is, again, something AI can help us with. The meetings, we will not get started on meetings today because this could be a very, very long call. But again, there are some things from our profession that we cannot change, and AI, unfortunately, cannot help us with. So that's a bit of an intro about the goals today and a bit of background, a bit of context. I'm going to just jump in here to see if there are anyone. Yeah, Jackson, amazing. Thanks for joining me, Jackson, from South Australia. Amazing. I've been there a number of times. An amazing state. I'm currently in Victoria. Awesome. If there's anyone else out there, just jump onto the chat. Let me know where you are from. Beautiful. All right, we're going to move on. We've got full screen. Okay, so I'm going to assume that there's people out here which have never heard of AI or just starting to hear about it, and there's probably people that know more about it than me. So I'm just going to cover all bases here, and we're going to basically start with what is the definition of artificial intelligence. From the dictionary, it is the simulation of human intelligence processes by machines, especially computer systems. Okay, so this AI is not a brand new concept. It is just replicating what our human incredible brains can already do, but obviously at a much bigger and faster capacity. So in layman's terms, a really smart 24/7 personal assistant that has access to the entire internet and can create things to make our lives as PE teachers easier. Now, we're getting right into the nuts and bolts of it now. I would love to hear what you guys have already used. So in the chat again, what AI tools have you used? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say the majority of people have had a go at ChatGPT, and that's what we're going to actually focus a fair bit on today because it is amazing and it is free. But what have you used? I'd love to hear in the chat. For me, there are 3 types of AI that we need to worry about. The first is integrated. Okay, the reality is most of the online tools, the technology that you guys are using will probably start to integrate AI into it if it has not already. All right, so that's probably a key action point for you guys. Whatever you're using now, whatever you may love a certain tool for your class, you may make presentations with X, Y, and Z. Have a look, and I'm going to show you in a second about Canva. And see if it has already actually integrated AI. All right, so I'm going to jump over to Canva here. I am crossing my fingers and toes that you can see this as well. Oh, I'll just jump back here. Oh, we've got someone from Myanmar, amazing. Queensland, I'm actually moving to Queensland next year. I'm very excited. Spain, welcome. And someone from ChatGPT. I've never heard of that before. All right, so we are going to jump over to Canva. So when I'm talking about integrated, I mean things that have already been used. Now, Canva is an unbelievable tool, and I use it for many, many, many things, and I know a lot of other teachers do as well. So what I want to show you is that there is actually AI, not necessarily ChatGPT, because that is a separate tool. Artificial intelligence has been built into Canva. So as you can see in the top right, left corner, we have Magic Write. Okay, so if you click on that and you describe what you need, it's going to use AI to generate that. So we could say something like, create a lesson plan for soccer. Now, that is a general, very short prompt. We're going to learn how to do proper, detailed, effective prompts later, but just for this exercise, I'm going to show you. We're going to click Generate. Okay, and now in a few seconds, AI built into Canva is going to produce a lesson plan for soccer. Now, we haven't given it too much detail, so it's had to do a lot of guesswork, okay, but it's looking not too bad. It's got an objective for us, the materials, duration. We've got a quick lesson outline here, which is good, warm-up, intro, skill development. All right, and it's still going. Gameplay, cooldown, bang. So in a couple of seconds, we have that built for us, created for us with AI. If we love it, we can press Insert, and there we have it. In a couple of seconds, we have a lesson plan, and obviously we'd put our own spin on this. We would make sure it suits our specific needs. But that is an example of how AI is already built into the things that we are probably using already. Now, another fun little thing that Canva has done, we have this thing called Magic Media here. Now, this is, again, powered by artificial intelligence, and it creates images for us. Now, I will say it's not great at what it does just yet, but I think it's something that will improve with time. So hopefully this works. We could say, what do we want? A soccer ball eating an ice cream. All right, bit of fun. That is a very generic prompt. Again, with all AIs, they take a couple of seconds because they obviously have to process what you have put in, and they have to figure out what you're trying to get out, and then they're going to start building or creating or writing based on your prompt. So there we go. In a couple of seconds, we have created something out of nothing with a funny little prompt, a soccer ball eating an ice cream. So again, if you use Canva, have a go, check out what AI is being integrated in already. If you don't use Canva, I would certainly recommend it. It is quite amazing for many, many things. All right. Amazing. We've got a few people now. Again, if you guys have used different things, chuck them in the chat. I'd be very, very interested. So what I just showed you was Canva, and that's what we call integrated AI. Next one I'm going to show you is guided. Now, this is probably the best for two reasons. It's very, very user-friendly. So for anybody that is beginning, guided AI is really, really going to support you in that process, and it is really good at getting really excellent resources out. All the other types, we're going to look at open and even integrated, it's okay at what it does, okay, but you really need to know what you're doing, or you can get off track and not necessarily get to what you want. So we're going to jump into ChatGPT. So this is, and again, I'm hoping that the screen has come along and you can see it. This is something, a tool that we developed at Peabody, I think it was the start of this year. And again, it's a little bit cheeky. It's quite similar in name to ChatGPT, but we haven't got in trouble just yet. And we think it is the best tool out there. Specifically for PE teachers, I'd highly encourage you guys to check this out. You can have a free 7-day trial of this just to see if it is for you. And like I mentioned before, this is what it looks like, and it's designed for two things. Be really, really, really easy to use, and to produce specific resources that are customized to your needs. A lot of the time when people try AI for the first time, they get generic things out once they use it, and they're not super happy with it. So this is what we're trying to avoid. So here's an example. We might say, create a unit plan for sun safety. Okay, so with our tool, you can just use this description box and press go, but we really like this feature here. You can put your specific curriculum in. So I'm in Victoria, so I start typing Victoria, and then the Victorian curriculum comes up. So everything that it's going to give us is going to be based on that curriculum, which is amazing. Let's say, yep, year 7 students, and we're just going to confirm we want a unit plan. All right, so we click go. This ChatGPT is going to take all of this information into consideration. All right, and boom, in a couple of seconds, we have a unit plan for sun safety. Okay, it's given us some learning goals. Week 1, 2, 3, 4, bit of an assessment at the end, some suggested resources. Okay, and again, PE Buddy is a great place to find those specific videos or PowerPoints, etc. It's even got some extension activities as well. Okay, so we're really excited about this tool. You can actually see up the top there, we've got about 155-star reviews from all of our products. So these go from our online courses to our PowerPoints to whatever else, including ChatGPT. And most of these 5-star reviews have actually come from this tool. So we're super stoked about that. We're really glad that it is helping people. And like I said, jump on to onlinepebuddy.com, try it for 7 days for free. If you love it, you can keep going. If you hate it, you don't have to continue. That is fine. All right. So we've done integrated, we've done guided. There are many other examples out there like Diffit and a couple of other really cool guided AI tools out there, but none that are specific to PE. And the last one we have is ChatGPT. Now, again, I'm going to assume that the majority of people who have used AI have used ChatGPT. It was the first, it's probably the biggest now, and it is pretty good at a lot of things. It's not amazing, but it is certainly getting better. And again, this is what it looks like. If you log in and sign up, you've got this down the left-hand side, which is all of your previous chats, which ChatGPT actually learns from. So for example, if we're putting in a prompt now, it's going to search back through any of our previous chats and find information that might relate to that. It's starting, as you can see down the bottom, to integrate image creation, data analysis. You can upload files. You can do different things like that. It is getting better. It's certainly not there yet. It's probably the best at the moment at the simple stuff. So creating text that is hopefully of use to us. So I am going to give a bit of a demonstration now about the power of AI and ChatGPT, and hopefully we can get a bit of an understanding about how it can help us as PE teachers. And then after we've done this, we're going to go through how you can learn to do this as well. So this is my prompt. I want a 4-week unit plan for striking and fielding. This is quite literally what I have done with my own year 9 students over the last month or so. So that is my prompt. I am going to click. Okay, and again, like with all AIs, it's going to take a couple of seconds to read, interpret, analyze what I'm asking, and then hopefully we're going to get some kind of answer. While we're waiting here, I'm going to just jump back quickly. Nice. All right, so it took a time, ChatGPT, it can do that sometimes, but here we go. So we have a 4-week unit plan in a table format. We have week 1, focus area, learning objective, activities, assessment, and curriculum links, which is pretty cool. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. Okay, now at this point is when 99% of people stop. They might copy this and then they're going to go from there. That is probably the #1 rule that we need to keep in mind with AI. We never ask it to do something and then just take the first thing that it gives us. Okay, we always need to make sure that it is correct and that it is useful for us. Okay, so that's my 4-week plan. What we can now do is say, okay, create a lesson plan for week 1. Okay, so this is a bit of a conversation, just like you're chatting to your grandma or a friend on Facebook or WhatsApp or whatever else that you use. We're going to start a conversation and we're going to keep it going, okay? You might have those friends that you message them once, they reply with a 1-sentence answer and that's it. Not great, not good for a relationship. And this is the same, okay? We want to continue to interact. We want to continue that conversation until we get something that is really, really useful. So again, our number 1 goal should be the best quality physical education with the least time, effort, and stress. All right, so we have our lesson structure from week 1. Okay, so this has taken the information that it generated from week 1 and it's expanded it into a full lesson plan. Okay, which again, nicely formatted. I didn't ask it to do it in a table format. That came from the original prompt. Okay, but that is still looking good. All right, and now we can continue. So you can imagine that if this is the start of a unit or even the year, and you're doing this, you can smash out an entire unit of amazing PE documentation in seconds. Now we're going to say, okay, create an assessment rubric for this unit. Okay, so again, we're continuing the conversation. It's going to look back into our original prompt. It's going to look back to its original answer. Okay, and it's going to look back to the secondary follow-up prompt and answer. And then it's going to search the vast, depths of the internet and everything else in between to hopefully get us something that is useful for us. So again, one of my criticisms of ChatGPT is that it can be very, very slow, especially if you have a slowish kind of internet. And one of the sneaky features that it has implemented is it'll give you a certain amount of prompts or words, and then it'll change the model and actually become slower and not as good. So it's trying to get you to upgrade and purchase, which is a little bit sneaky. Okay. So there we have it. We have our rubric, okay, which again, we started our conversation asking for a 4-week unit plan for striking and fielding. So these could be cricket or softball or kickball or things like that. Okay, we've got our lesson plan from that. We could do that 4 more times to get all of the weeks. And this in a nicely structured, nicely formatted rubric. We've got our striking technique, fielding skills, tactical understanding, teamwork and communication, rules and fair play, reflection and feedback. All right, so I don't know about you, but that is a massively detailed rubric. I operate a little bit simpler. So again, we can continue the conversation and say, simply simplify the rubric with only, let's go 3 criteria. Okay, so if we were doing this ourselves, we might actually give it the criteria. We might say, for example, what I have done with my unit plan or my recent unit that I did was one criteria was our striking, okay, one was our fielding, and one was sportsmanship, okay. Sportsmanship is a huge part of what we do at our school, okay, and we taught all the other skills as well as that, and that was what we assessed the kids with, and they were aware of this the entire time, and it actually worked really well, which is nice. So there you go, it's summarized and simplified our rubric, okay, from this down to this, which is something that we could now print, perhaps distribute to the kids, put up on our online management system and go from there. Okay, so as you can see, really quickly, we've gone from prompt, we've got our unit plan, bang, we've got a lesson plan, okay, we've got an assessment, all in a few minutes. Okay, and this is only scratching the surface about what ChatGPT can do for us. Hello, Angus from Vietnam. I have been to Vietnam many, many years ago, an amazing country. Thanks so much for being here. All right, let's get back to the presentation. So, if you've just joined us, I've briefly gone through the 3 types of AI. We've got integrated, okay, things that you're already using are probably starting to integrate AI, so check out whatever you're using. We've got guided. ChatGPT is our PE specific one, and that, as the name suggests, guides you through the process and gives you hopefully a better result and is more user friendly. And then we have open. So ChatGPT, again, it is just an open. We're going to open a new one. Yeah, open there. You put in whatever you want and you get out. Basically, the quality of your prompt determines the quality of your answers. All right, hopefully that makes sense. Let's move on. So this is for PE teachers. So on the screen here, I've got a list of the things that I have used or are using AI for. So this is a big one, creating PE documentation. So all the things that we need as PE teachers to do our job effectively, so we're not just rocking up and guessing. Daily use, I'm really big on the proofreading, brainstorming and question and answer. So if I'm sending an email specifically to parents, I'm always going to make sure that I'm proofreading, okay? I think as PE teachers, we get a bit of a bad rap. You know, they're saying, if you can't teach. If you can't teach PE. I hate that saying, okay? And I think as PE teachers, we need to, you know, build that respect for our discipline, for our faculty, and really small things like this, like spelling, grammar, punctuation, all that stuff shouldn't matter, but it really does. And things like Grammarly, things like even just ChatGPT can actually really help us to make sure that all the things that are going out from us to, you know, a DM to the staff, a message to the parents, whatever it is, it's gonna have to be, and it can be really, really easily proofread and of a really high quality. Brainstorming is great. We could say, okay, it's raining. I have 3 soccer balls, 1 tennis ball, and 4 hoops. ChatGPT, tell me what activities I can do with this. Okay, again, really, really useful for us. And question and answers. Specifically for higher level physical education, when we're dealing with things like biomechanics, you know, chemistry, biology, anatomy, all this stuff, we need to be making sure that we are staying on top of our game. And if kids are giving us questions, we need to give them the right answers. And for a lot of us, uni was many, many, many years ago, and it's important for us to, you know, keep the correct information at the top of our heads. Another one that I've been experimenting with is assessing. So if students are giving me a piece of work, I'm actually using AI to assess that and provide some strategies and some feedback from both myself and for them, okay, which is again something that I think is going to become a bigger thing in the future. And even report writing. One of the things that I did this year was input all of my data from all of my students, okay, and I told them to give me some prompts, some comments based on those marks, okay, and then obviously I went in and edited, changed, added my own personal touch, made sure everything was accurate, okay, and that saved me a heap of time and actually produced a better quality result. So again, I am a visual learner, you may be too. This is how our AI can help us in a practical way. Like I mentioned before, I think we need to get to a stage where every PE teacher, every school, every, you know, group of PE teachers has completed curriculum-aligned PE documentation. So our scope and sequences, unit plans, lesson plans, assessments, rubrics, all of that needs to be at a really good quality, and with AI it can be so easy to do. And we need to kind of make sure that that is the foundation, as we can see on this pyramid. That is the foundation. Without that, you've got PE teachers making stuff up on the spot. You've got, if you've got multiple classes, you might have one PE teacher teaching something different to another PE teacher, and things like that. We want to build that respect for our faculty, and this is one of the things that we can do. That is the foundation. And along with that, on a personal note, if you're a PE teacher, you need to have a bunch of resources that are yours, and that is kind of the foundation: PowerPoints, assessment rubrics, all of that really useful stuff that way back when we used to manually spend our nights, weekends and holidays doing. We need to make sure we have that, because it is guaranteed for 90% of people that you will not stay at the school that you're at. You will probably move on, okay? And you don't want to get to a new school and have no resources and have to start that whole process again. Next, we can start using it with daily admin. So like I mentioned before, helping us write emails, helping us proofread, helping us brainstorm. This is going to become a bigger thing, I think, that AI is going to start to be integrated more and more into our daily lives and our daily teaching. And I think that is a good thing. It's important to note that you, me, we are still the boss, we are still the professionals, we are still in control, we are the PE teachers. AI is never going to replace it. It's only going to help us do our job better. And the entire purpose of all of this is to give us the time and the energy for amazing PE, okay, and an amazing work-life balance. Okay, that is the ultimate goal. As we looked at right at the start, the teaching profession is in crisis now. That does, yes, include us PE teachers. And we need to figure out a way to be sustainable, to avoid burnout, okay. AI is not the answer, okay, but it is an answer that can help us do this. Teach with passion, teach with energy, get home, enjoy our hobbies, our relationships, and the stuff we love to do. All right, that's the example I gave before. Really quickly before I move on, are students using it? I don't want to spend too much time, unless, of course, you guys are interested in this. Talking about the idea of students using AI, this study last year basically found, yes, students are using it, unsurprisingly. 70% of kids 14 to 17 in Australia have used ChatGPT. 59% using it for schoolwork or study, which is great. Okay, 42% of it, people are using it for assignments and assessments, which is not great. That is where there is a huge issue. So basically, AI is being used as a plagiarizing partner. Okay, I can almost guarantee for you guys out there, you have probably received a piece of work from a student that was copied and pasted straight from ChatGPT. I'll be interested to see if anybody has had that experience in the chat. We should, my firm belief is that we should be teaching kids about AI, and we should teach them how to use it as a learning liaison. Okay, so helping them in that learning process, not just helping them cheat right at the end and submit some plagiarized work. So our students are using AI, that is unquestionable. That won't change. It's only going to get more and more and more and more. So we need to learn AI, okay, which is what you guys are doing today, which is fantastic. That is the first step. Okay, again, we need to try and keep up with the technology that our kids have access to. And we need to do this so we can identify when some students are giving us work that is plagiarized straight from ChatGPT or AI. Like I said before, we need to teach kids how to use it responsibly. Okay, some of you might have been around when the computer was launched. I'm a bit too young for that. But again, a very similar idea of this new technology completely disrupting the education system, and the education system and the world basically needing to adapt. Okay, so we've actually developed a really cool online course for this, which basically goes over academic integrity, AI, how kids can use it to learn. You know, if they're stuck on something, they can go home and they can interact with ChatGPT to explain it to them, to make it simple. So if you're interested in that, again, everything that I'm referring to today is on our websites, onlinepebuddy.com. All right, let me see back on the chat. All right, let us move on. So here's a bit of an overview for some key principles of AI. Now, this is really, really important for us to get our minds around. So what AI is and what it is not. So So what it is a 24/7 personal assistant. Okay, if we break it down, it is a tool to help us teach better quality physical education. It is a tool to help us save time and energy and stress. Okay, this is what it is among many, many other things. Down the bottom here, this is what it's not. Okay, and this is, again, a lot of people when they're first interacting with AI fall into this trap of thinking that it is a mind reader. So they've got an idea of something in their mind. They go to ChatGPT or something else. They put in a really poor prompt, because most people don't know how to prompt, and they get something that is really average. Okay, and they think, no, AI is terrible. It is not for me. And they go on manually wasting their, nights, weekends, holidays. And again, that is not the mindset that we want. Okay, so it's not a mind reader. The quality of the results depends on the quality of your input. It is not 100% accurate. I'm going to show you quite a funny video in a second. Now you can actually go try this for yourself. I'm not sure if ChatGPT has fixed this, but basically it's going to show you about a prompt that someone put in saying how many R's are there in the word strawberry. Now, if you are an English speaker, you know that that is 3 R's. There's 3 R's, and ChatGPT has no idea and tells that there's 1, that there's 2, that there's 4. Okay, it's quite funny. I'll show that in a second. And the last point, which is really, really, really important, AI is never going to replace you as a teacher. Okay, you are irreplaceable in education. As you know, if you've been in the profession for a while, relationship is 90% of teaching. If you put in the effort to get to know your kids, to work with them, to give them choice to work together, you're going to have success at whatever you're doing. So robots, machines, AI cannot do that. Okay, so do not worry about your jobs. You are safe. So here's that video. Enjoy. Again, this is demonstrating that AI, ChatGPT, is not always accurate. So you can see there, the prompt is how many R's in strawberry? You can see clearly there is 1 after the T and there are 2 before the Y. Let me fix that so you can see it. There is only 1 R in strawberry. That's what ChatGPT reckons. Now, whoever made this video is having a bit of fun with AI. Really, you're wrong. ChatGPT reacts, sorry, I made an error. It actually contains 2 R's. So there you have it. A pretty humorous demonstration that ChatGPT is not always correct. So here are some key principles before we're going to dive right into the practicalities of how to actually create useful things for PE with AI. So first key principle is QIQO. Quality in equals quality out. Now I mentioned this before, a lot of people when they first try AI, they do not do this. They do more of a GIBO, garbage in equals garbage out. So we're going to learn how to make a quality prompt in a second. But again, this is something to keep in mind that if you are getting things from AI that you're not particularly happy with or it's not of a good quality, 90% of the time it's because your prompt was not good. Next key principle is the 80-20 rule. Now, this refers back to the video I just showed you about the ChatGPT with the strawberries. We never, ever, ever, ever using AI or ChatGPT and then copy and paste directly from what it gives us and go. Okay, we always need to remember to do the last sort of 20%, okay, ourselves. So that might be adding your school logo, that might be double checking the information, that might be changing a couple of words to better suit your style. Whatever it is, that last 20% or so, okay, is up to you and really, really crucial. So yes, ChatGPT might do 80% of the work. It might also do it 80% quicker than you could do, okay? But that last little bit, 10%, 15%, 20%, whatever it is up to you. Okay, remember, you are the professional. Okay, you are the physical education teacher. You're the boss. AI is just our little helper. So, how do we get quality results? We put in quality prompts, and we do that with the 3 Ps: plan, prompt, produce. Okay, I'm going to go through this for you guys now, and this is a really useful framework that we can apply to any form of AI. We're going to focus more so on ChatGPT today, just because it is free, very popular, and it is quite good. Okay, so the first step that we are going to do with any form of AI tool is plan. So we want to plan what we want before we actually start. Okay, before our fingers touch that keyboard, we are going to think, we're going to stop, and we're going to basically try to figure out what we want before we start. These are 4 things that we can use to help us get that quality result and help us craft our prompt. Okay, so when we are using an open form of AI like ChatGPT, we want to give it a role, a goal, restrictions, and format. Most people only do a goal. Okay, I want a lesson plan for soccer. Okay, that is the goal. The reason that we want to give it a role is it gives ChatGPT context, okay, and it filters out 95% of all the stuff that is not going to be relevant for us. Okay, so immediately, straight off the bat, ChatGPT knows that you are a PE teacher. Okay, so the answer is automatically going to be of a higher quality, because everything that it gives you is going to be what it thinks a PE teacher needs. Okay, so first role, goal, restrictions. Okay, really important. If we want good results, we put good information in. This might include a year level, the curriculum that you're using. It might include duration, like a 60-minute lesson plan, etc. Okay, and the last bit is the format. What format do we want our information in? Do we want it in dot points? Do we want it in a table, like the example I gave at the start? Or do we want it in a step-by-step recipe style? Okay, so this is an example of what that looks like. So you are a PE teacher is our role. Create a 60-minute lesson plan for ultimate frisbee. That is our goal. Make it for year 10s based on the Australian health and physical education curriculum. Those are our restrictions. And format it in a table. That, of course, is our format. Okay, so you can see this is really quite short, quite concise. Okay, but there's a lot of information that ChatGPT can use to draw from, research, analyze, and create a really good answer for us. Okay, so that's the first step. We make sure that we plan. What's the saying? Plan to fail, fail to plan. Same concept here. Once we have done that, we get our prompt. Okay, so we can craft our prompt, like I said, with a role, goal, restrictions, and format. We enter this into whatever AI that we're using, for example, ChatGPT. We press enter. That's like sending the SMS to our friend to begin that conversation. And like I showed you at the start, we always refine the results. We never accept the first result. Okay, we want to refine it and make sure that it's actually useful for our specific needs. Now, there's a few ways we can do this. Okay, we can click regenerate. We can add, okay, repeat but, or add, okay, and I'll give you a bit of an example in ChatGPT. So again, our first step is planning. So what do I want? I would like an assessment for muscles of the body. Okay, so you are a PE teacher. That's the role. Create an assessment for the muscles. That is our goal. Make it for year 8 based on the Australian HPE curriculum. That is, those are our restrictions, and format it in a quiz style. That's not how you spell quiz. Quiz style with multiple choice. Okay, so we have our role, goal, restrictions, format. We enter that prompt. Okay, quo, quality in equals quality out. All right, again, ChatGPT can take a few seconds to analyze what we've put in, to go and find the best possible, hopefully the best possible response for our prompt. Okay, there we have it. All right, so it has listened to us, which is nice. Okay, it has given us our format, which we asked for in multiple choice. Okay, and again, all this is going to be based on the Australian HPE curriculum. It's going to be based for year 8 as well. Okay, so if we're going through this, this definitely looks like a year 8 level work, which is fantastic. Okay. It's given us 10 questions. Okay, remember, we never accept the first answer. So let's say, add a short answer question at the end. Okay, this could be great for our students which like to extend themselves. All right. One of the good things about multiple choice is that, if you're a student, I guess, is that you can guess all the answers correct. Okay, whereas short answers or long answer questions require actual writing from students, which is a crazy concept these days, I know. But it is really important, and it's a really great way to kind of sort out those students that know what they are talking about from those that don't. So again, repeating for those that may have joined, before we even put fingers to the keyboard, we thought about what we wanted. We crafted a prompt. ChatGPT gave us an answer. We've iterated a little bit. Okay, we've said, okay, answer a short answer question, which is describe how the quadriceps and hamstrings work together when you kick a soccer ball. Okay, which is awesome. We're talking about agonist, antagonist, reciprocal inhibition, all of those things that students can draw from and answer in their answer. All right, we'll jump back here for a second. So first step we planned, second step we prompted. Third step is where this comes to life. So we need to produce something that is useful for us. If it stays in ChatGPT, it's not useful. It basically doesn't exist. So we can do this a couple of ways. We can copy and paste straight into a Word document or Canva, or we can go straight into our online management system. You might use Compass, you might use Sector, whatever you use, you can copy and paste straight in there, and that's great for you, great for the students, great for the parents to see your lesson plans. Another cool thing that they've done recently is prompt, or you can prompt ChatGPT to put it into a table or a list, like I said before, or you can say download as Word document. Okay, so I'll show you how this works. So again, we've planned, we've prompted, we're looking at this, we're liking what we see. Okay, we're going to say download as Word doc. Okay, this is a really nice feature, like I said, that is a bit more of a recent feature, that they're going to look at the last answer that they gave. Okay, they're going to do some fancy calculations and they're going to show us on the screen, I think. I'm not sure why they need to do that. But at the end of that, hopefully we're going to get a link, a hyperlink that we can just click on, okay, which is going to be a Word doc that we can open. And that could be something we save, we print, we put onto our online OneDrive, whatever it is. And again, this whole process can be done in seconds. And there we go. So there is the code. I'm not interested in that at all. This is what I'm interested in down the bottom here. Okay, so we click that. We cross our fingers. It's starting to download. It's come up here to our downloads. We click it. And I'm really hoping you can see that as well. There we have it. All right. Our quiz on a Word doc ready to go. Pretty amazing, hey? A couple of the other final features that is worth noting. We've got a couple of different buttons, I guess you call them, down here. This one is read aloud. So if you click it, I guess it's going to read your answer aloud, okay, which might be useful for many, many people, even people learning English. That could be a really amazing way to, or any language really, to use that. This bit here, you can copy the text. Okay, so whatever it has up here, it's probably a better example up here. It's going to copy that text and then you can paste it into wherever you need. You can actually give ChatGPT some feedback as it's going along. Okay, so you can say good response. And then tomorrow when you are doing this again, it's going to say, well, this one was a good response. So my next one is going to be similar to this. And the last one here, you can click regenerate or you can switch models. Okay, some of these are paid, some of these are free. And again, it is worth keeping up to date with the different changes of any AI, specifically ChatGPT. All right, so I've just taken you guys through the plan, prompt, produce method of using prompts to create really, really high quality results using ChatGPT. I'm going to pause just for a minute or so and give you guys the opportunity to ask any questions about that process in particular. Again, I'm going to open the floor up right at the end of the presentation, which is probably only about 10 minutes away for any other questions. All right, Jackson, I've sometimes asked it to differentiate assessments and tasks as well, and it has some good ideas. Hit and miss though. Yeah, that's amazing. That is one of the things that I haven't touched on, but is a real game changer for students. As you would know, there are many different levels of students in your class, okay? And being able to give your low, medium, and high students different assessments or tasks or whatever it is in 10 seconds is an absolute game changer. So that's amazing, Jackson. And you are definitely right, hit and miss. In general, we hit more than we miss if we are able to prompt really effectively. But again, AI is new, it is getting better, it is evolving, okay, as are we, which is why, again, for someone starting AI, ChatGPT or a guided tool could be really, really useful. Amazing. Any other questions, put them in the chat. I will get to them at some stage. Awesome. All right. We are going to wrap this thing up pretty soon. Here's a quick summary for us. So ChatGPT or AI is basically a 24/7 assistant for us. Okay. Quality prompt equals quality result. Remember QIQO. Building the PE foundation should be our #1 goal as PE teachers and PE faculties. We can then begin to use it for our daily admin, making sure we are using it to proofread, to make sure everything we are sending out is has correct spelling. We can use it to get ideas. If the weather changes and we had one plan, we can quickly change our plan with AI, and it can help us do that. And the whole purpose of everything that I've spoken about today is for us to enjoy teaching better PE with less work. Okay, this is good for us, this is good for our schools, and this is good for the kids. Our process for success, now there are many, but I really like this one because it's simple and it's easy to remember. We plan before we even put finger to keyboard. We can do our prompts with a role, a goal, restrictions, and format. okay? And then we produce something that becomes alive or real. When we export it, we copy and paste it, we download it, and we put it into a Word doc, our online management system, okay, or we print it, okay? If it stays in ChatGPT, it does not exist. Now, hopefully that makes sense. What I'm going to do now, before I completely wrap this up, and like I mentioned before, I'll give you guys access to my free online course, which goes into this in much, much more detail. And someone will also win every single resource that PE Buddy has ever made. So make sure you don't leave just yet. So that's a bit of fun. I want to quickly cover what I think, a couple of predictions of the future of AI in PE. Now, we're going to work from the most likely up the top down to the least likely down the bottom. Now, the reasons that I've got most of these up here is because 90% of these are already in existence and already being used. Okay, a lot of them are being used already by professional athletes and professional sporting teams. Okay, and as you'll know, a lot of the time the technology starts with the elite athletes and it filters down to us eventually. Okay, schools, physical education, amateur athletes. So, like I mentioned, I think the standard, the default should be and will be that every PE teacher has all of their documentation ready to go, so that if they are away, the teacher can come in and they have everything they need ready to go. Unit plan, lesson plan, PowerPoints, everything. And again, AI can help us with that. I think in a few years, all teachers will be using AI every day, whether they like it or whether they know it or not. Like I mentioned, integrated AI is something that is already happening. So things, programs, tools, technology that we are already using is starting to integrate AI into it. Okay, and I think we are in an interesting space now where AI is still a bit of a taboo topic. Some principals, some staff, some governing bodies are trying to ban it, are fully on board with it, are somewhere in between. It's a really interesting space, but I think, again, as professionals, we need to stay ahead of the game, and AI is an absolute game changer. I think AI will be used by all students every day. It'll become some kind of a student tutor. So when kids get home, they might jump on and start interacting with AI, saying, I was in science today, my teacher was talking about the anatomy of the heart. I was busy talking to my friends, so I didn't actually learn. Can you please explain the anatomy of the heart to somebody who is in year 7? Make it funny, add a link to a video, teach me in 3 minutes. Okay, as far-fetched as that sounds, I think that is something that is going to be adopted really, really quickly. And again, an absolute game changer for kids, because it is personalized AI-powered learning that is going to learn from the students. It's going to adapt, okay, and it's going to help those students learn, whether they're at school or at home. And again, going on with that, I think every student will eventually get their own personalized learning program, which will be powered by AI and delivered by us, okay? This is just bound to happen, okay? It's already starting to happen on a manual level, which is just ridiculous. Again, one of the hats that we have to wear as teachers is, a differentiator. We have to cater for 97 different student technologies and interests and learning styles and blah, 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 blah for our students. And it is such a time-consuming thing. And the rationality is good, but the practicality is just, again, unsustainable and a little bit ridiculous at times. But again, we want the best for our kids. So using a tool like AI is definitely an answer to this problem and a game changer for kids. What I also think will start to happen is we're going to see AI expand into different type of technologies. At the moment, it is very much a text base. ChatGPT, you put text in, it gives you text out. That text is an amazing unit plan, lesson plan, whatever it is. But like I showed you guys in Canva and also in ChatGPT, it is starting to venture out into different types of multimedia. So I know that AI can now create images, it can create videos, it can probably create sounds, audio. It's going to start to filter into basically everything. Okay, an example of that is live video analysis. I know there's a company, I believe in Australia and probably elsewhere as well, that are working on a video analysis program where you can film a kid doing a skill and it will give that kid instant feedback about, you know, the biomechanics of it, the efficiency. It might compare it to a professional athlete. It might grade it based on the curriculum, things like that, which again, how good does that sound? Moving into wearable fitness technology, this is again something that has been around for a while, but I think we'll basically get to the point where every physical education student has their own Fitbit or smartwatch of some sort. It's going to measure heart rate, it's going to measure, you know, GPS, hotspot, kilometers, all that stuff. And again, that might become part of our assessment, that might become part of our, you know, 3D learning experience. I did a PD with an amazing group of faculty leaders in Brisbane a few weeks ago, and they were talking about the use of drones being used in physical education, which I just thought was super cool. Learning about tactics, you know, spatial awareness, strategy, formations, all of that. Just imagine a bird's eye view as you are teaching, projected onto a, you know, a big screen. How cool would that be? And again, that's already happening with all of the professional sporting codes. So it's just a matter of time before it filters down to us. And the last prediction is sports equipment is going to become smart sports equipment. I think and again, this is happening in professional, the English Premier League, for example, they have microchips in the soccer balls. That's going to tell it if it goes over the goal line or out for a throw or offside or things like that. And again, I think that will filter down to us. So just imagine you're doing softball or t-ball with a student. They've got a smart ball. They hit it, and it's going to tell how fast they hit it. It's going to tell the angle. All right, it might be able to give some feedback, changing the, you know, it might be able to light up the connection point that they should do for optimal distance, things like that. Again, pretty wild, but I believe it's not too far away. Virtual reality is an interesting one. It's one of those things that's been around for a while, had a heap of hype and then sort of died, but I think it's going to resurge and become better. And again, just imagine kids, even if it's a rainy day, you're in class, you're speaking about technique of a tennis, a tennis serve. Kids whack on some virtual reality glasses. They can all be inside practicing that technique with no equipment, there might be a little bit of noise, with no disruption of each other, okay? And again, we know the amazing benefits of visualization and mental rehearsal and all those things. Just imagine this would take that to the next level. And last, but possibly not least, who knows, robots. We might have a robot assistant helping us get the cones, set up drills, provide feedback, you know, in the next couple of years. Who knows? Elon Musk is doing some pretty crazy things at the moment. So who knows? So there's just a couple of predictions. Who knows whether they'll come true or not? I would, if I was a betting man, I'd put serious money that basically all of these will be happening everywhere in the next few years. All right, so what now? First of all, thank you. I really am crossing fingers and toes that this worked, that the recordings and the screens and everything works, because again, I think this is an absolute game changer for us as PE teachers. And I hope that over the last hour or so, you have gained some confidence, some knowledge, some strategies, and some actionable steps that you guys can dive into to continue your journey or start your journey into AI for PE teachers. So my first encouragement is to go try it. If you are using Canva or something, start using the AI features. If not, jump on a ChatGPT. It is free. If you're a real beginner or just want some extra high quality results, give ChatGPT, PE Buddy's AI tool a go. Like I said, that is free for 7 days for a trial. I'm going to show you guys a page on our website, okay, which again would be a great next step for you guys. A little bit about what our thoughts on AI are. And again, we are for it. We've done a fair bit of work creating things and researching over the last couple of years. That's hopefully going to save you time because you don't have to do it now. But this is going to be a really good, useful step for you. Here's the link to trying ChatGPT. We've got some video tutorials which are free. That's going to go through different, like how to create PowerPoints, how to use ChatGPT, etc. We've got an online course, and this is what you guys are going to get for free. So in a second, I'm going to ask you to put your email address in the chat, okay, and then I will send that through to you. We've got some articles on here that's going to give you specific steps and a bit of research and things that we've been working on over the last couple of years. Okay, and there's links to all the other stuff that we do as well. And like I mentioned at the start, one of you guys are going to win access to our premium PE Buddy membership. And again, the whole purpose of this is to give you everything that you need to teach amazing PE with less work. And basically that includes 200 resources, PowerPoints, assessment rubrics, etc., access to ChatGPT, all our online courses. We've got professional development videos and things like that as well. We've got some really good results and feedback and ratings that we're really proud of. You can check that out as well. We've got a heap of different options. One of you will win the best possible one with everything we've got. We've got some more budget-friendly options as well. Okay, everything we do, we try to make flexible, editable, ready to go, and fun and interactive. This is what it looks like. You basically get access to folders and folders and folders of resources, plus everything else that we do as well. Again, amazing for people starting their physical education journey. Let me jump back here for a sec. I would love to work with you and your school if this is something that you have a forward-thinking faculty heads or principal. Again, I think this is something that is so powerful and is something that everybody needs to learn about ASAP. So I would love to do a online professional development day or professional learning day with you and your team. So definitely let me know. I've done a couple of these in the past and I absolutely love them, and people say they have a really good time and get some really useful information out of them. And it's much more interactive than this presentation was, again, which is super useful. On that same vein of thought, I'd love to do some consulting with you guys. I've been working a lot with AI for students, for obviously you guys as PE teachers as well. And my next project is working with parents. Okay, so I'll put some packages together if you and your school are interested in that. That would be amazing. I'd be so pumped to help you guys dive into this world, which can be really, really tricky to navigate. And like I've mentioned a few times, we have 200 resources that will make your life easier, guaranteed. That's about it from me. So if you would like access to that free online course, either in the chat or the comments, or you can message me, or you can message PE Buddy, add your email address, okay, and I'll send you access to our free online course and a couple other freebies as well. And in a few minutes, I will announce the winner of the free membership. But for now, does anybody have any questions about anything I've spoken about over the last hour or so? AI, ChatGPT, plan, prompt, produce, or anything else related to what I've spoken about? I will wait a couple of minutes, maybe 5 minutes or so. So if you have that, have those questions, put them in the chat. I'd love some feedback from this presentation. If you've got your phones, whip them out, scan this QR code. It'll take 3 seconds, and it'll be really amazing and really useful for me to figure out, if I do this again, what should I do more of? What should I focus on? What do you guys want to know more of? What do you want to know less of? So if you've got your phones, open them up, give me a little bit of feedback. I would love that and would appreciate that. If you're watching this video back, all of these links will hopefully be in the comments or the video description. Okay, otherwise you can just pause this and it will take you to where you need to go. Amazing, that was AI for PE. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to stick around for the next 5 minutes or so to answer any questions that you guys have. But otherwise, you are welcome to go. My suggestion would be to jump straight into onlinepebuddy.com, and you'll get links to all the other stuff that I've spoken about today. And I'm going to see if I can take a screenshot off. Amazing. Thanks, Jackson. I will send that through after this. All right, I cannot turn off screen share for some strange reason, so you won't get to see my face, which is probably not a bad thing for you. But thank you guys for joining me today. Any questions, jump onto the Facebook, the group, the websites. I will send through those freebies in a sec. Really appreciate you guys joining me, and I'll hope to do another one of these soon. So stay tuned.